Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to warm up today by doing a change. So let's get to it. Come on. Alright, so I guess green. I'll use green. Told you I was happy to have my markers back. Alright, the first word in our chain is going to be hitch. Itch. Hitch. Alright, let's spell the word hitch. Itch. Hitch. Now, based on the rules that we've learned, we know it's TCH because this is the sound I. So, hitch. If I want to go from hitch to ditch, what change am I making? I'm changing the beginning sound. Good. From to d. Ditch. Good. From ditch to pitch. From ditch to pitch. What's happening? Another beginning sound change. Excellent. Itch. Pitch. Right on. From pitch to patch. Pitch to patch. What's happening? Hold on. Pitch to patch. It's a vowel sound change. It's still a short vowel, so my ch spelling is going to stay the same. Pitch to patch. From patch to latch. Patch to latch. What change am I making? Beginning sound change. Good. Patch to latch. Patch to latch is a beginning sound change. Good. From latch to match. Latch to match. What's happening? I'm making another beginning sound change. Excellent. Atch. Match. Good job. Alright. So notice we use I and ash. Short vowel sounds followed by the ch sound, telling us we're going to use the spelling TCH. Good job. So that was the last new spelling we learned for a familiar sound. And I want to present to you today more new spellings for a familiar sound. And actually, I might just blow your mind a little bit with what I've got for you today. I might just blow your mind a little bit for today. So, the sound we're talking about is the sound J. And the first way you learned to spell this sound was actually with the letter J. J, jump, J, jump, right? Well, today I'm going to present to you G, gym, J, and G-E, fringe, J. As you hear jump, gym, fringe. I have a spelling tree here for you, and what we're going to see is that the J, J, and the G, J, are actually about the same length, because we really use the G just as much as we do J to spell the sound J. Yep, we have the J, J with the J. So the letter J to spell the sound J, and the letter G to spell the sound J. And we have G-E to spell the sound J. There are also a few odd ducks out there, meaning sound spellings that we don't know yet, or just sounds that are borrowing from other language patterns that we're unfamiliar with, that will also make the J sound. There's about 11% of other spellings that we haven't learned yet. So, like gym, jump, and fringe, we're going to look at some words that utilize these three spellings, and we're going to talk about when to use them. When to use them. So, the letter J is more common than G at the beginning of words and syllables. Words like, here we go, jar, jacket, jump, jam, gym. Starting with the sound, well, gym like the name, not the place. See, look, already right there. That was a bad example because that can be confusing. But sound with the at the beginning is often spelled with the letter J. So jump, jacket, jar. Using the letter J to spell the sound J. Then we have G, and G is never used on a separate, when we have words like age and huge, I don't have those written down, but I'm going to add them. Age and huge, whenever we hear the J sound and we have a word, that has a split silent magic E, it's being spelled with the letter G. We never use the J for the sound J. If we have, so the age and huge, because it's a split digraph, we're known to use the G and not the J. Other examples using G include words such as, I'm going to read this, see if you can read it. Remember, I just told you G is going to make the J sound, so that is J. Germs. Alright, still G makes the J sound in both spots. This is, look at one syllable at a time, ginger. What about, can you sound this one out? Just 2 syllables. Gerbil. And how about this word? Okay, let's have this one out. We just said no, not maggot. Magic. What's a magic? This is, the G makes the sound J. Magic. Don't worry, the next time we meet, I'm going to explain how do I know which sound the G is making. We'll talk about that later too. But today, every time you see the G, it's being used to spell the sound J. For today, every G makes the J sound, like gym. This gym is like these gyms. We talked about this when we did geology. Alright, so let's add these to our tree. Gym. Magic. Gerbil. Ginger. And germs. Now, there's one more spelling, and that's G-E. And it's used at the end of words. When you hear the J sound at the end of a word, it is generally spelled G-E. Now, when you know if the E is part of the ending, well, first off, we know that this is not G-E because the E-R is on teamed up. So words like charge, hinge, large, use the G-E at the end of the word. G-E is at the end of the word. Large. Hinge. Notice, when we hear the J sound, it can be spelled G-E, G, or J. G-E is at the end of the word. G can be anywhere in the world, but if you hear a long vowel, like long vowels are saying their own name, you know it's a G. If you hear long vowel, you know it's a G. And we will talk more about knowing which sound G makes the next time, but for today, all the G's make the sound J. I'm going to give you, like I said, I don't want to this is already a lot. Because as you can see, G is actually slightly more common, used a little bit more often than J. They're about the same, but G's a little bit more often than J, actually, in these words. I do have an odd duck, one little odd duck is a word. So because we're in school, and even though I don't expect you to be able to sound this word out just yet, because I haven't taught you all the rules to decode it, this word educate, this D-U, kind of does make a weird J sound. And since we're at school, just like school made the K sound, well, educate has a weird J sound. Yeah, J is a very tricky sound. It's a very tricky sound. It's a sound that can be spelled several ways, but as we noted, G and J are the most common, and GE is used at the end of words. We don't often use J at the end of a word to spell the sound J, but we will get into some more options and explanations as we continue onward. Like, okay, fine, G makes the sound J in these words, but how do I know when I see it by itself? Don't get ahead of me. It's okay. Right now, I just want you to know that G can definitely make the J sound. Such words such as giraffe. We learned about giraffes recently. Yeah, giraffes. We talked about gyms. We've talked about all kinds of words where G is making the J sound. And it's always a G if the vowel says its name. So, I'm sorry. Age, huge. Those kinds of words are always G. Let's go ahead and let our leaves fall from our tree. La 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 la. The leaves are falling. My duck is flying away. Where's my button? Woo. All right, so the new sound, not the new sound, same old sound. The sound, same old sound is J, like J, jump, J, G, gym, J, gym, G, J, fringe, G-E, okay? Now, what you're going to do, you're not going to practice with this today. You are not practicing, what I said, you are not practicing with these independently today. I'm introducing them. I'm just introducing it because you're going to need it. You're going to need it. We're going to work on it some more, and we're going to work on it some more together before I just throw you out there and say, all right, now do something. What you're actually going to do today, what you're going to practice today really is plural nouns. On page 9.3 in your cat book, which has been turned into like a big empty grid on Canvas for you, you're going to make each of these nouns plural. Nouns, things you can touch. So for example, 1 book, 5 books. 1 splash, 3 splashes. Good. So remember, SH, SS, and CH are times in which we have to add the ES. Also, X, we add the ES to make it plural. Any other time, we add S. Now, if you write 3 splash, it's wrong. 9 match is wrong. You have to add the plural. You can't just copy the word that was given. You have to add an additional letter or letters to make the word plural. Today, you're also going to read a text called, story, because this is fiction, make-believe. My leaves need to fall some more out the way. Let the leaves fall out. You never can tell. Ooh. You never can tell. Okay. So in the story, you never can tell, there are going to be exactly 2 words that use G making the sound J, and that is magic and legend. We've talked about magic and legends before. Legends being stories that we don't know if they happened or not because they happened so long ago, but there is evidence to support that they could be real. We don't know. So yes, there's also going to be, so magic and legend are going to be the only 2 times that you see G making the J sound. So let me just make sure I correct myself when I said you're not doing it. You're going to just see it a little bit in today's story, but I'm still reading with you. I am not reading these questions out loud, but I am reading any additional questions I have. So the story You Never Can Tell, you're going to hear about a robber, which is a person who steals things. there's going to be something which is rare or unusual. Some sort of legend involving magic is going to be discussed. So this is potentially very exciting. Well, I want you to read the story today to find out what Nan is talking about when she says, you never can tell. Alright guys, but that is all I have for you today. I can't wait to see you guys a little bit later. I know J makes what? How many? J is spelled how many ways? And J is not number one? What? I know. But it's okay. We're going to keep working on it together, and I'm going to provide more instruction as to, well, how do I know what sound the G is actually making? Don't worry. This is why you don't have an assignment on this sound spelling just yet. But you do have 2 words today. I'm going to write them down for you. Edge. Ick and edge. Legend. Magic. You do have magic and legend in your story. You never can tell today. Those will be the only 2 exposures you have to this sound spelling today. We will have more in-depth instruction. I know, it's a lot. Don't worry, I know. We're going to have more in-depth instruction, guys. I don't want to leave you confused. If you have any questions, please do let me know. Shameless self-promotion. Spelling test is tomorrow on the Unit 5 List 2. They've been on 6.1 Your Cat book. We talked about on Monday. We talked about on Wednesday. I'm reminding you today for your test tomorrow. And I will see you guys a little bit later. Until then, have a good day. Bye.